abusiafo Joseph Mensa boy numbi ose meni na na ekọ na eba meni na na ebomu didie besuma sem simini sa nipa ya na eche nenso onua ne do anadwa na oye me hwan asem na making IGP Dampare yese ne audio eliki ya nkofe bese omomodian no mu yini free ho nanso abusiafo yese ne obese bonsam nyanguko pompangu na bonsam fa ne tampiko ni nyina mu anye yese da committee ne ma ombobo nsami ho a ene day so IGP Dampare bomodian akokopie mu opanifu anim na abusiafo hwe kwa papa ifa so a wo hye ne nsamase yese kwa fa so wo hye ne dwumadie e post dwumadie mu no de kakran saa yese ne bebo no ma e record a waseti wom musumu say papa ye na the West IGP abusiafo omodi etie ensemi bi a se e course ho na onua ne nua no makodi nti onua ne ono bokosia tafre se we pani eso abafo ma se de brother and sister munyina bete o Yesu Kristo de ni bi na so stay ngofo esi ombeyi na ma as ni nyina mu akoti sinagopo wase ye mmodi passes ba na eseso etinagopo de obonipa na e teamwork nya ono kwa na ye nti oba asase so ono so Dampare no ono so dwumede nya ono kwa nti oni nua no mahodi onyina na ka bom se asumdue betimi akonkan e wo maye mu nanso ni nyina mu to da no wo bre wo to wonna na wo jabusuafo wo na wo yere nche na wo si adwuma mi tongo nso me na ayo and still it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair.
They also prepare for what we are all about to do. And what they said, we've given it to you, haven't we? We've given it to you. All that they said, we've given it to you. But we couldn't have brought the IGP here because the tape, it was not necessary that, it should come. So, Council, I think we should rest this matter. And then, Vice, you wanted to chip in or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and let the IGP, deal with some of the issues in a very, simple way and straightforward. And then we know what to do.
Yes. Honorable Chairman, my understanding of the objection raised is that it is an objection which raises questions of consistency. So the previous witnesses who appeared did that in the absence of the IGP. So counsel is saying that in good conscience and in fairness, why have we allowed the witnesses who previously appeared minus the IGP to sit in when it is his turn to take his stance and speak to the committee? Now, one thing that we must bear in mind is that at the moment our proceedings are public. It's a public hearing until we go out of, sight and out of view from the cameras. That being the case, I want us to adopt a middle ground. It cannot be said that the statements the IGP is going to make here would be coded in a manner that these witnesses cannot hear. If we were to ask them to go into the next office, there is a screen. They will have the benefit of hearing whatever the IGP would say. No, for the sake of consistency. So that now they are raising issues of equity, good conscience. It shouldn't appear as if, we are not extending the same treatment we offered the other witnesses to the IGP. So on that score, I think that the witnesses here would lose nothing if we were to say, you know what, kindly recuse yourself, go into the next office, you can watch on the screens. If that would give them comfort, Chairman, I think we should proceed in that order in order to cure any perception, possible perception that
there is no perception.
We are not extending a level playing field to the parties who
there is nothing like giving somebody an advantage. Because they should say that their presence here will not give them the space to testify. That's what he's saying. And I've said, I've given you a very good premise, that there was no issue of consistency of treatment when we started the interrogation, because we couldn't have called the IGP to come and sit in when we started, because nothing concerned the IGP. Guys, let's get it right. And I do not know the kind of disadvantage the IGP will suffer if the people are listening to him. What is the problem? There's no problem at all. They are not going to say one word. On the contrary, the one whose voice we hear is the IGP. Nobody's going to, there's no lawyer here who's going to stop the IGP in the middle of that when he was trying to tell us, if you like, the preliminary issues. And counsel, I want to stress this. The preliminary issues that they said here, that we're giving him space to state his position as a preliminary matter, because he was not present when those allegations were made. And we want to be fair to the IGP and let the IGP dilate a bit on some of the things they said. But to invent another principle that there's an inconsistency in this matter is neither here nor there. Because it is not the people sitting here who determine what the IGP will say. So please, counsel, if you want the IGP to speak, let him speak. If you don't want the IGP to speak, say so. But with this other argument that their presence is evidence of inconsistency, is not borne out by what we've done here, the proceedings. Because who knew what was going to happen today? But for the fact that what they said, I sitting here as a chairman, I didn't know what they were going to say. So how can I invite the IGP in advance to come and sit when I didn't know what they were going to say? There's no member of this committee who knew what these individuals were going to say. In fact, we didn't even call, these individuals. We called Chief Bugri Nabu first. Is that not so? And then he said these were the individuals who were having, if you like, a tete-a-tete with. That is why we called them. I don't know whether my memory is messing me up, but when we called Chief Bugri Nabu, these individuals, were they here? They were not here. They are having a conference. Let them finish.
Mr. Chairman,
True light of.
No.
See, he raised issues about what?
I've answered it. Yes, I've answered it. Counsel, what is your view? And I want to proceed. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I also want you to be able to proceed. All I am saying is, on the 17th, from you, your very self, Honorable Chairman, at page 4 of the report, the transcription, you said, so Bugri Nabu will open the floodgates. I think the IGP is mentioned, is he not? So he could be a potential witness. Note that. We would invite the police commissioner too. That's why I am saying it was not after the testimonies that you knew who to invite. Before the testimonies, you knew who you were going to invite. So at that point, you should have invited the IGP. As to who was a potential witness, it didn't come after the testimonies. It came in your first meeting, way before Bugri Nabu was called. And I am taking this from a report given to us by this committee. I'm not making anything up.
Can you tell this committee in a few words? I wouldn't want to have a banter with you. You know you can't do that. Listen to me carefully.
Yes.
Can you tell this committee the injury you will suffer if they are seated there? And then I take a decision. What injury are you going to suffer? I don't get it. What injury are you going to suffer so that we note it and take a decision? What injury are you going to suffer?
In the event that they stayed outside, what injury will they also suffer? And what injury will the committee also suffer?
See, the committee is not sitting only today. And please mark my words carefully. And I'm going to say it finally because you can waive your right not to speak. And I wouldn't worry my soul at all. These are going to be my final words to you. And I don't want to continue with the banter. I don't need it. You have an opportunity to speak. You see, these individuals and even the IGP are going to continue after here. We are not ending proceedings today. And some of the proceedings will be so important, it will be in camera. So therefore, it is relevant that they listen to what IG is saying. Because the proceedings are not ending today. That is what it is. And the matters affect them and the IG. It's like you saying that in a court of law, there's a plaintiff and the defendant. The defendant is testifying. The plaintiff should go out. I don't get the logic of it. So I will say more than this. I give the Inspector General of Police the opportunity to deal with the preliminary issues. And if he wants to do that, we will give him the space to do it. If he doesn't want to do that, I leave it to your judgment as a lawyer. That is all I will say for now. So, the Inspector General of Police, we want to commence the interrogation of the matter, and I want to lead in some areas, and then we start.
Mr. Chairman, may I crave your indulgence once more? May we be guided by the ruling of the committee. Is this statement you just made the ruling of the committee so that the records will reflect that this was the ruling of the committee?
Yes. You raised an objection and I overruled you. Yes. So that is it. I don't know what else you want me to say. And if you want me to overrule my advice, I will do that. Yes. Because you see, you've not satisfied me on one point, which is very, very interesting. Am I doing anything here which will prevent the head of the police service from putting the story across? None. I've not done anything untoward to prevent him from speaking. And I've said that there's no way, whilst the Inspector General of Police is speaking, any of the witnesses or their lawyers will interrupt. There will not going to be any public cross-examination or anything whatsoever. And their presence here should not hurt the flow of what the IGP will say.
On 1st of December 1990, I completed training as a constable on 30th of August 1991. And from constable, within a period of 24 years, I became a commissioner, unprecedented. What is even more unprecedented is that from constable 1991, within a period of a little over 6 years, from constable, I became a lieutenant of police. And that is even more unprecedented than becoming a commissioner within 24 years.
Who was the IGP when you became a superintendent?
Honorable Chair, I don't have that information readily, but if you will allow me to finish the opening remarks, and I will be ready to answer any questions that come so that I can flow. Thank you. I became a sublieutenant in 1997. 1997, I became a sublieutenant, and that was on the 1st of June 1997. So becoming a constable on 30th of August 1991, by 6 years and probably a few months, I became a subtenant of police. And that is very unprecedented. And this is how it happened. When I joined the service and looked at all the policies within the service, I realized that there's a policy that encourages education. That if you attain a particular qualification, you get a particular rank. So I started off my A-level also by private studies, and I was able to get my A-level done. And as a result of that, on the 5th of April 1993, I was promoted to the rank of sergeant. That is 2 years after I became a constable. Then in the course of it, still learning and taking advantage of the policies that encourage education, I embarked on a professional course to become a chartered accountant. And I pursued the course, and at a point when I passed certain sections of the course, which was within a year after I became a sergeant, I was promoted to Chief Inspector on the 1st of September 1994, which means a constable 1991, 2 years down the line, a sergeant 1993, and then roughly 1 year down the line, Chief Inspector 1994. Then I had a privilege, and also for the record, when I was at the depot as a constable, before I passed, I was a constable, from recruit to constable. By the grace of God, I won all the awards, with the exception of one, which is marksmanship shooting. I had a privilege in 1995 to go to the police academy, then the police college. And there, at the end of the day, I became an ASP in 1996. And also the best cadet for the course. And also by divine providence, I won all the awards with the exception of marksmanship, which is shooting. Then thereafter, the same year, 1996, I became a chartered accountant. 1996, I became a chartered accountant. That is a course that I started and completed within a period of 2.5 years. So when I became a chartered accountant, then I made a submission to the police leadership on the basis of the existing police regulations on promotions. And they promoted me based on that qualification to Subtenant of Police a little over a year after I become ASP. It means I'm one of the few people ever to be in the police service who never became a DSP, Deputy Subtenant of Police, before becoming a subtenant. So that is for the record. And what it means is that when I became a subtenant, most of the senior people around, including my own big brother George, was an ASP. So from there, I became chief subtenant after 6 years of being a subtenant. And after that, and my chief subtenant was on 1st of February 2003. That is from 1997, so after 6 years or thereabout, I became a chief subtenant. And from there, roughly another 4 years, I became Assistant Commissioner of Police. And another 4 years, I became Deputy Commissioner of Police. And roughly another 4 years, I became Commissioner of Police, which is the Commissioner of Police, Assistant Commissioner of Police 2006, Deputy Commissioner of Police 2010, Commissioner of Police 2014. What it means is that within police regulations, promotions are based on the number of years you serve, your competencies, your integrity, your character, and availability of vacancies. And looking at my promotion, beyond the miracle aspect of it, the rest of my promotions started following the normal course. And at times I did find myself, why was God not in it to help me to keep moving the way I have to move? So in terms of my qualifications, my ranking in the police service, it has been purely based on my competences, my academic qualifications, and hard work because of the passion I have for the work. I have not at any point in time been called aside by any individual and granted me any favor that I do not deserve. Honorable Chair, in terms of positions I've held, I have been across virtually every command within the service. And at a point, because of my commitment to work, I was handling multiple schedules at the National Headquarters. Because if you give me a work, you just have to consider it done. Because that is me. I get things done, and I work around teams to get them done on the basis of Genesis 1:26, where I know God himself said, let us create, indicating that God being the originator of teamwork, you cannot do anything and function without teamwork. And that has been my style. So in all this, it got to a point I became the most senior Commissioner of Police, that is the next to the Inspector General of Police. And when that Inspector General of Police retired, His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Nana Adudanko Akufo-Addo, found me worthy to take that position and work together with my colleagues, together with all the other security agencies, to ensure peace, security, law, and order in this country of ours. So it is on this note that anytime I have the opportunity, I do say to Mr. President that forever, myself, my family, especially my wife and children, and my extended families which are dotted across the country, will be forever grateful to him for finding me worthy to occupy the position and working in concert with my colleagues in order to prosecute the agenda of the police in line with our constitution. Chair, I speak briefly about my colleague. George is my big brother. JB is my kid brother. Asari is my brother. The beautiful thing is this, Honorable Chair. We've been together for far long. And my brother George, you know, his wife, since I joined the police till today, I call her my mom. And that will never change. And my brother, my kid brother, when I became the Inspector General of Police, I call you and offer you the position of Director Cybercrime. My brother Asari has already gone through a whole process at various places, and by the time I came, he was still at the position of where he is today. We do not have recourse to as to where precisely he wants to be. And this is how I have coexisted with all of them. All my management teams are here because that is how we do our things. Then, all of a sudden, this matter came up, and the matter was about what has happened and who said what and where it came from. And my brothers were given opportunity to come and speak, and they did speak and made indication that yes, they are involved in what was happening. Then all of a sudden, they came out with wild allegations. Honorable Chair, with wild allegations.
That in mind.
Thank you. Let me come to you, Ivan. Movies.
Is it because of the insults? Process is slow because.
Honorable Chair, those wide allegations without a shred of evidence has brought a lot of pain to myself, my family across the country, and especially my wife and children. That you are so patriotic because you believe in what you call Pan-Ghanaianism, where you think that because of your multi-ethnic nature, everybody you see, as long as the person is a Ghanaian, is your brother or a sister, mother or father, uncle or auntie. Then the pain also to my command, my leaders, my team, that we work together, that you all know. And the pain to the thousands of police people who are appreciating the strides that we are making in transforming the organization to be the best institution in the country and a reference point for the rest of the world. They came, made all these allegations in order to cover up probably the shame associated with what they got themselves involved in the first place. And I, an innocent person, focusing on my job, working in concert with my team and all commands across the country to keep the country safe and make it to be at peace for itself. I've been asked to come and answer to these allegations, which are wide, baseless. And I felt in my spirit that this is just not fair. It is just not fair. Are we killing patriotism? That anybody can just get up, make allegations upon allegations, and people who go across the country at times 48 hours without sleep, just keeping the country at peace, will be called to come and answer allegations that are unfounded. And that becomes something. Anyway, I'm here. I have no choice. I have no choice and have come. And I say it to the glory of God, my Maker, who sustains me every day. I will speak to the matters as you direct. And I'm doing this because of the respect I have for myself, for my family, especially my children and wife, for the office that I occupy, for my brothers and sisters who are sitting behind me, that we have pulled ourselves together in an unprecedented manner in a teamwork to get these things done for this country. And for the respect I have for institutions of state, including the parliament that we are here today. And more importantly, the respect I have for Mr. President for the honor that he has done me for making me the Inspector General of Police to work with my colleagues. And equally more important, for the respect I have for the good people of this country. So, Honorable Chair, I am here being asked to answer to why allegations unsubstantiated by my brothers in order to cover up their shame. I am ready. I thank you.
You quoted the Bible, you know. And it seems to me you are a student of the Bible, are you?
Honorable Chair, I'm a Christian, and the Bible is my reference point. There could be a student of the Bible who may probably be using the Bible just for examination purposes, but may not necessarily be a Christian. But I'm Christian, and my reference point in terms of what guides me is the Bible and the Spirit of God. Thank you.
Did you ever find in the Bible that the innocents suffered. The man who claims he's innocent suffered. Have you read it before in the Bible? Did you read it?
Honorable Chair, I am a Christian who understands that. And that is what it is.
That is why I'm a bit surprised that you're complaining about maybe you doing a good job and you're going through some challenges and suffering, because we know that the innocent can suffer. That's the story of Joseph. Never slept with Potiphar's wife, but went to jail. Have you heard this tree adage that onipa kɛseɛ na asɛm to no? Have you heard it before?
Honorable Chair, I have. But the point I'm trying to make is the fact that we are all human beings. And at times, these things happen. You may have all what it takes to handle the situation. But when you are speaking to a matter and the feeling of how you feel comes on board, it's normal. And the most important thing is that I understand all the issues you are raising. Okay. And I'm in sync with it because I'm a true Christian.
Now, Inspector General of Police, do you have a working relationship with Chief Bugre Nabu?
Honorable Chair, I do not have a working relationship with him.
Inspector General of Police, if somebody alleged against you that you are the architect of the first video or the video, you in cahoots with Chief Bugre Nabu, got these individuals taped, what will be your response to that, sir?
Honorable Chair, that is untrue.
Inspector General of Police, it seems to me every serious police officer would want to be an IGP. That is natural, is it not?
Honorable Chair, that is the case.
And it is equally the case that when there is a vacancy relating to such a high and powerful office, and individuals are aware of the appointee of that high office, there will be attempts to get to the appointee, so somebody is appointed. Is that not so?
That could be the case, in the sense that human beings are different. There will be somebody who will be going around to do that, and others too who may know that based on the quality they have, they may be contacted and assessed for the position. And even those who will go around to be doing that, there may be variance involved in the extent that they go. Thank you.
Did you pay regard to the statement of Honorable Kofi Boa, the MP for Elembele, the statement he made on the House floor, did you pay regard to that?
Which I have cited it and I have prepared here what it contains.
Yes. You know, there's a very serious allegation to the effect that you are the most powerful person in the realm, according to the statement that was said on the House floor, to determine the outcomes of elections. What's your response to that?
Honorable Chair, I thank you for the question. Honorable Chair, the most important thing is this. Election involves so many stakeholders, and each one has its role, and the police also has its role. An election is a simple matter where each stakeholder plays its role, and collectively we end up ensuring that it is over, and the people then decide who becomes the leaders. So nobody has some supremacy in terms of when it comes to his or an entity or an institution, when it comes to its role in ensuring that elections are successfully. As far as I'm concerned, other stakeholders have to play their role, and the point is that because each role is unique, you cannot even compare to say which one is on top and which one is not. So as far as I'm concerned, all the stakeholders have critical roles to play in ensuring that our elections are successful.
So the upshot of what you are saying is that the IGP cannot determine the outcome of an election. Is that what you are saying?
Honorable Chair, that is exactly what it is. Not that what I'm saying. That is what it is. Everybody has a role. Every stakeholder has a role. And then when we all play our roles, the people who have to vote will then determine who becomes the leaders. Thank you.
Are you surprised to hear that when you are there as the IGP, because of your personality and what you stand for, the New Patriotic Party cannot bring the 8?
Honorable Chair, can you highlight a bit about my personality and what I stand for?
Well, it's gleaned from the document. It's gleaned from the document we gave you. You see, so I'm just, relating to the statement that was said on the House floor.
Which I understand, but if you could probably refer to it and then maybe let me have the benefit of how it was captured. Maybe if you can probably help me to appreciate that aspect of my personality and what I stand for, it will help me.
My vice chairman is telling me that that is not a verbatim statement, but your lawyer will tell you. Your lawyer will tell you that I'm permitted in law to make what we call inexorable inferences and deductions.
But I'm not with the greatest of respect. I know you are on the floor, but just to point out that the question you posed is not born out of the deputy minority leader's statement. That statement was read on the floor, and we made contributions. I don't recall that in that statement the leader indicated that when an IGP is at post, a certain IGP, breaking the 8, which is an impossibility anyway, will never happen. He never said that.
Yeah. But did I say that? Did I suggest to the IGP that I'm reading from the statement? I never said that. I'm saying that I'm just gleaning meaning from the statement. Let me read something to you, which probably will know that. I mean, I'm just want you to see what's happening. Inspector General of Police, you told us that you've not internalized that statement, and that you have a fair idea. Is that what you said? You've not internalized, although we gave it to you in advance.
Honorable Chair,
Yes.
the point I'm making is that it said my person and what I stand for.
Yes, I'm coming to that in a second.
Yeah.
So let me quote what he said here. Now, the Vice wants me to be specific, so let me get there. Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm on the second paragraph. The said audio tape contains the voice of a man described in the tape as a serving commissioner of police in a conversation with another man described as a stalwart and the former Northern Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party. The significantly lengthy conversation between the two men centered on a variety of subjects, including a plot to remove from office the current Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufu Dampare, and calls the President to appoint in his stead an IGP who is more submissive, loyal, and pliant to the government, the New Patriotic Party, and its quest to break the 8 to win the 2024 general election. So the character dimension here, I was just making the inference. You are not submissive. Probably you are not loyal and you are not blind to the government. So this is what I was trying to make the inferences. So that by this, it was being said that by the strength of your personality, it will prevent the New Patriotic Party from breaking the 8. What is your response to some of these matters?
Honorable Chair, that is somebody's opinion about me, and I can't question somebody's opinion.
It is the opinion that has brought us here. Unfortunately, it is the opinion. It is somebody's surmising that you can determine the electoral fortunes of others, which is the subject matter of this inquiry. Are you aware of that?
Honorable Chair, I am aware of that, and as you heard me earlier speak, I did mention the fact that, in an answer to a question of yours, that all the stakeholders play their roles. The police that I heard and work in concert with the team at the national and across the country also play our role. So at the end of the day, it will not take an individual to make that determination. It takes the people of the country to make a determination as to who becomes a leader. And like I also did indicate, somebody might, opinions are all over the place. And as far as I'm concerned, I'll continue to do my work in concert with my commanders across the country and do our job. And what is about me is doing a professional police job. And then that's nothing more than that.
I'm very grateful to you. Now, I yield space to the other members to ask questions and we note what the IGP will say. So, The vice was, I thought you had a residual power when they flew.
These are preliminary matters.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Let me.
These are privileges.
Yes.
Come on.
Okay, so
these are privileges reserved for leadership. Yes. So, do you want to deny the fact that leadership is entitled to certain privileges that you are not entitled to enjoy? So let me take the floor.
Inspector General of Police, you've heard this contradiction. Leadership have privileges. You heard that? And he's saying that he wants to call for a division. He said that. You see how people can contradict themselves. Okay, so Vice is going to probably sort of do a follow-up to some of the issues I raised, but he will have his 10. So Vice, do you have a lot of questions on the follow-ups before you have your 10?
Oh, there are not too many questions.
Okay then.
Yes. But just to place on record that this statement that the Honorable Bois read, which culminated in the institution of these proceedings, simply recalled, what he had heard from the leaked audio. And so there are no words. The words contained in this statement are not words that Honorable Bois generated, or they are not a figment of his imagination. They flow directly from the leaked audio. So they talk about breaking the age, etc., are not his words. Just to place that on record. But Inspector General of Police, you see, if you go through the record of proceedings that this committee furnished you with, you find that there is some accusation which has been labeled against you, which is to the effect that you orchestrated the recording of the leaked audio. As IGP, I want you to speak directly to this particular accusation. Did you play any role in respect of the recording of the leaked audio?
Honorable Chair, like the chairman asked initially, I did not play any role in it.
Now, IGP, you also read through the proceedings and you would find that in it, you may want to respond to this in the open. I don't know how it sits with you, but you were also accused of being the worst IGP this country has ever had. How did you receive the accusation, and what is your reaction? Yes.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. Honorable Chair, I think probably my brother wanted to say I'm the best and he missed it. Because the records are there for everybody to see. The beauty of mankind is that everybody has an opinion and you can express it in any form of shape, but that has not changed the facts. And this is the point, Honorable Chair. Since my colleagues and I, and the rest of the commands across the country, had opportunity, by the grace of God, and with the honor done me by His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we committed ourselves to transforming the organization to become the best institution in the country and a reference point for Africa and beyond, in a teamwork fashion, based on Genesis 1:26. So even granted that I'm the West, then all of us collectively are the West, including probably my brother who was serving in that capacity as member of the team that I lead. So I think it was a slip of tongue on his part. But let me speak to the issue. This is what it is. We, the current administration, want to be the best in terms of all those who have come before us. And we have a good reason for that, Honorable Chair. And we are there getting on to becoming the best in the history of the country. And I'll explain. The reason why we want to be the best and we are getting to be the best as a police administration under my leadership is that when most of our forebears were there, we saw what they did right and the challenges they face. So being a graduate of management and leadership and a continuous student of sociology, psychology, and philosophy, it is just clear that when you saw your forebears doing what they were doing, and you saw what they were doing right, and you saw the challenges they were facing, and you have this background, and you have the opportunity, you surely should perform better than them. And this is simple. You do what they were doing right, you learn from their mistake and make them better. So if you add them to what they were doing right, there's no way you cannot be better than them. And this is what we are doing. And at the point, maybe I will share with you so many interventions we have put across the country and working in concert with all the other security agencies that has brought us to this level of peace, security, law and order across the country in an unprecedented way. But the next point, Honorable Chair, is the fact that we don't want to be the best in the whole life of the police service, but rather we want those who come after us to be better than us, because by the same yardstick they are watching us in terms of what we are doing, those that we are getting right, and the challenges that we are facing, so that they will be able to outperform us. And when they do that, then they will also become better than us and all our forebears. And when that happens, we will end up building strong institutions and not having strong men. And this is what we are doing. So it is not true that my administration is the West. It can never be. He missed it. He missed it. And with your permission, I will speak to a few of the interventions that we put across. First, your Honorable Chair, we came in at a time that so many places across the country were engulfed by criminal elements, especially armed robbers all over the place. And now, across all the major highways, you can feel it. In the past, when you are traveling from Kmtv, Tamale, you normally have to say your last prayers. What is the situation now? In the past, when you are traveling from Kafo or Simon Begro to Go, it was virtually a no-go area. In the past, when you are traveling from Kintampo, Zamrama to Prime, it was a horrific journey. In the past, when you are traveling from Efijase through Kumawu to Robonso to Mamikrobo, you must forget it. In the past, when you are traveling from Bamboy, Bole, Tuna, Tuwa, it's another ballgame. In the past, when you are traveling from Tapa to Bogoso, Wasel Kropon, it was a sad scene. In the past, when you are traveling from Dungaonofin, even to Asimfosu, a terrible situation. And from Praso to New Dubiase, to my big brother's hometown, Bekwai, to Kumasi, it was another thing. I can go on and on and on. And as for Donkokrum, it was a daily thing. We've worked together as a team at all levels of command and across all the security agencies to normalize the situation. You call it the crimes that were happening, residential robberies in all our cities. You stem the tide. Now, with the support of the police council, with discussions, and with the approval of His Excellency the President, you have created 7 more new police regions to bring policing closer to the people of this country. It was our assessment when we came to office. We saw that policing across the country was very minimal, roughly about 47 or thereabout %. But with instructions from Mr. President, we've been able to deepen policing in a manner that has never happened before. And that dovetailed into the concept of visibility, where we've demonstrated the presence of policing at all corners of the country through the establishment of 144 regional FU bases across the country. Currently, the establishment, we've been able to roll out 121 of them. And this comes with an average of 35 officers, number of motorbikes, a vehicle, to ensure that they are engaging the communities, they are patrolling the highways, and then they are patrolling the communities so that they will have their peace of mind to live their life. Honorable Chair, I can go on and on and on. When we came, we have established Police Emergency Medical Intervention Fund with the approval of Mr. President, where 6.1 million cities is in there to ensure that every police officer who gets injured in the course of duty can be sent to everywhere in the world to give treatment to the person in order to come on board. Honorable Chair, in the process, as you have seen, with our quest to engage the communities and win their hearts and minds, going across the country with my team, analyze and identify and analyze all their concerns, working on and putting measures in place through special groups in order to ensure that they work and keep them safe. Honorable Chair, we have also worked on the issue of decentralizing so many things that were centralized at the headquarters. The welfare department, counseling department, intelligence unit, processing of certain things including criminal checks. So we are on the quest of ensuring that at the end of the day, we leave the organization better than we come to find it. So all these interventions, almost about 45 or thereabout of them, and putting it together, working with the other security agencies, that is what has brought us far in terms of the type of internal security that we enjoy. So would anybody coming to say that you are the West IGP is unfounded, is unfortunate, and I think best the person could have done if he had nothing to say is probably keep quiet and allow the people of this country to make a determination on us. And Honorable Chair, the final point on this matter is that it is not about Dampare, it's about the police administration. It is not about Dampare, it's about the police administration. The police is not a sole proprietorship. It is an institution with governance and management structures. Dampare is just one of the officers involved in the governance and the management structure. So that is what it is. And we work in concert and make sure that all decisions that we need to take, we take it as a group. And when it needs to the attention of the police council, we get that as well. But the interesting point is this: as my colleagues will bear us out, or will bear me out, all these decisions, where it matters, we've been sending to the divisions, to the regions, the districts, the divisions, and the stations for them to hold meetings and get their inputs involved. And that's the level of teamwork that we brought to bear on the work that we do. So it isn't about Dampare. It is about an institution that we have decided to work together, because nobody put a rope on our neck to join the service, and at the end of the day, the service doesn't belong to me, it doesn't belong to any individual. But once we are there to earn our daily bread in service of the people, we have to find a way of working together. And that is what I've done since I came, and my colleagues are the best witnesses for that. I thank you.
IGP, so let me place on record that the police service is not on trial here. And so, like counsel pointed out much earlier, we have some terms of reference that guides us in, the conduct of this exercise. Now, you spoke at length about we in the collective. It's not about Dampare, it's about the police administration. So you believe in teamwork. Is that correct, sir?